Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you who have joined us from different locations. Welcome back to yet another session from the eGov Academy Learning Series. This series brings together a curated set of conversations that explores different aspects of Digit and the stories that emerged from our ecosystem. You can also find the recordings of all our previous sessions on the events page in case you would like to revisit them or share them with your colleagues. Today marks the ninth session in the series, and we're delighted to have you all here with us. Before we begin and walk you through the flow of today's session, let me introduce our distinguished panelist and moderator. First, we have Srimati Simajit Kaur, Senior IT Manager, PMIDC Government of Punjab. She leads the PMIDC's IT team that has designed and deployed the MCO platform for urban public service delivery in Punjab. She has played a key role in driving adoption across municipalities and ensuring that the system reflects on-ground administrative realities. Through her work, she has helped translate the state's digital governance vision into a practical and widely used platform for municipal service delivery. Next, we have Sri Ajmal Jamal, domain expert with the KSmart platform, Government of Kerala. He is a civil servant serving at the rank of Municipal Secretary. In his role, he contributes domain expertise from municipal administration to shape service workflows and operational processes within KSmart, ensuring strong alignment with on-ground governance needs while supporting adoption across local bodies in Kerala. We're also joined by Dr. Ashok Kumar Karna, Executive Officer, Nabrangpur Municipality, Odisha. Dr. Karna is an officer of the Odisha Administrative Service and currently heads the Nabrangpur Municipality. He holds a PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, with a specialization in e-governance. In his current role, he works closely with the Sujok platform, focusing on its implementation, adoption, and day-to-day functioning while strengthening service delivery and citizen access. Unfortunately, Sri MSS Somaraju is unable to join us today due to an emergency meeting with the ministry. In his place, we are pleased to have Sri Jawaharlal, Senior Manager, APCDMA, representing the Andhra Pradesh Municipal Administration Department. Jawaharlal has been serving in the department since 2013. He was closely associated with the previous legacy system and has played an active role in the transition to the eGov application. Over the years, he has led several training and capacity building workshops and has effectively served as a bridge between the head office, the technical teams, and the urban local body functionaries, supporting adoption across the state. Our session today will be moderated by Sri Matthews P. Joseph, Associate in Monitoring, Evaluation, Research and Learning at eGovernance Foundation. An anthropologist by training, Matthews is a research practitioner whose work lies at the intersection of digital governance, public institutions, and the everyday realities of how digital systems function on ground. At eGov, he works with the policy team, studying implementation and impact across states, and has led field-based research in Punjab, Odisha, and Kerala, translating insights into strategy and learning. Today's discussion focuses on state government-led urban digital transformation, where state governments develop and provide shared digital infrastructure that can be used by multiple local governments. When each city adopts different systems, it leads to fragmentation, duplication, and limited comparability of data. To address this, four pioneering states, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Odisha, and Punjab, has successfully implemented state-level urban digital platforms. Through today's panel, we'll hear directly from these practitioners who have built, implemented, and operationalized these systems on the ground and learn from their experiences. Let me now quickly walk you through the flow of today's session. We'll begin with a 15-minute opening by our moderator, who will set the context for this discussion. We'll then move on to each of our panelists' reflections, which will take about 10 minutes each. Then it will be followed by a closing reflection by our moderator, which will last for 5 minutes. Right after that, we'll have the launch of the policy brief for about 5 minutes, and then we'll open the floor for a 20-minute Q&A session. Just few things to note before we start off the session. If you have any questions for the panelists, please post them in the Q&A tab. We'll try to address as many questions as possible during the session, and then we'll take the rest during the Q&A time. Kindly keep your microphones muted throughout the session. This session is being recorded for learning purposes. With that, I would now like to invite our moderator, Matthews, to set the context and begin the discussion.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on a late evening. Thank you, Jeetu, for the sweet introductions. As a moderator of the panel, using the privileges, I will take around 10 minutes to introduce the topic of today's discussion, state government-led urban digital transformation. I would like to start with a little bit of rhetoric. Bear with me, whoever is quite versed in urban, but for the interest of everyone who is not. As many of us are aware, the world today is undergoing a period of rapid urbanization. And India is not an alien to this phenomenon. According to one of the latest estimates, by 2050, more than half of the country will live in cities and contribute to 75% of the GDP. At a macroeconomic level, cities therefore have to respond to both sides of this transformation.
So there's a growing demand created by expanding urban population. And also they do have to supply to the economic expectations as being the engines of growth. This also means that the effectiveness of our urban institutions will increasingly shape the country's economic and social trajectory. Going back to rhetoric again, fragmented paper-based systems of governance and service delivery are inadequate to meet the scale of complexity of the cities. Uh, in this context, it is in this context that digital transformation emerges not just as a technological upgrade, but as an institutional necessity. It comes with the promise of efficiency, accountability, transparency, and accessibility. And this is no longer a theoretical argument. It has increasingly become a shared common sense across different stakeholders. For example, just about 2 days ago, eGov hosted a roundtable discussion exploring digital avenues for improving citizen participation in cities. The discussion brought together a diverse group of stakeholders, political leaders, city administrators, social sector experts, and community representatives. What was striking here was the broad consensus in the room that the digital system will inevitably play a central role in enabling better citizen participation. The only difference is that in the perspective is that the extent to which they agreed where the digital platform should have. For some of them, digital platforms should remain as an enabling layer in the background, making sure that there's a wireframe behind, all the data goes to one place, and there is a single source of truth. While on the other side of the spectrum, there were people who expected it to become a default platform through which citizen state interactions take place. So, setting this stage, does this mean that now every city has to go and start building a digital platform? The simple answer is no, and a simpler answer is a vast majority of them cannot. So, what it actually takes to make a platform truly work is not just by building the software. We have to think about the entire system around it. So that means developing the platform itself, setting up necessary infrastructure, integrating it with existing systems, supporting the institutional transition, building the capacity of the people who are using it, and ensuring that there are clear arrangements for ongoing operations and maintenance. But the vast majority of India's 4,400 plus urban local bodies lacks this fiscal, human, and infrastructural capacity. So, if there is a common theme in all the CAG reports on municipal finance, it is a lack of fiscal capacity at the urban and local body level, especially of on-source revenue. At all government offices, and all our government offices are heavily understaffed. Even as per proposed numbers, I don't know, maybe based on like decades old census data. And I am confident that let's do a show of hands. Whoever here thinks that the infrastructure that our cities are providing are of satisfaction. We don't have to even go to the digital infrastructure layer. And apart from this, like why even there is a clear story about why each city cannot develop an individual platform. There is an entire story on why they should not. So take a case where each city builds its own digital platform. We would end up with a archipelago of digital cities, not talking to each other, creating one of the most granular silos we would have ever seen. So it is in this background, I want to take your attention to the topic of today's discussion, state government-led urban digital transformation. So this is a phenomenon that is happening in India, where many Indian states, the digital transformation is increasingly being led at the state government level. Instead of each municipality or the city government building its own systems independently, states are developing shared platforms that can be used by all its urban local bodies. These platforms aim to support multiple service delivery functions across cities, creating a common digital backbone for municipal administration. So, as you can see among our panelists, they all are exemplifying one of each such platform. So we have K-Smart in Kerala, we have Sujog in Odisha, we have M-Seva in Punjab, and municipal ERP systems in Andhra Pradesh. So now I would like to take your attention to the fact that the state-led platform is not a hierarchical advantage position. So it is because the states do occupy a strategic middle ground in the larger socio-governmental institutional system of the country. At the national level, it is difficult to design a single system that can accommodate the enormous diversity of our cities. We do have a very large country with vast majority, vast diversity with respect to geography and associated socio-political conditions. And a national platform that can be used by all cities is far removed from the ground reality. And I feel this is also one of the realizations why the National Urban Digital Mission did not go about creating a national platform. Rather, they created a reference platform that can be used by the state governments, which is Upyog. Uh, but again, as discussed, if you go to the city level, many cities simply lack the financial, technical, and administrative capacity to independently develop and maintain digital system. So it is in this spectrum where state governments have a very unique middle ground. They have the capacity to build the platform while still being close enough to cities to accommodate the diversity. This should also be looked at from the background that the municipal acts and rules are created by the state governments, and hence creating a functional synergy between the urban local bodies within its geography. Apart from this institutional middle ground, there is a clear economic advantage of state level platforms. Developing digital systems individually for each municipality can be extremely expensive and inefficient. So, as you can see in the slide, when cities attempt to build platforms independently, costs can quickly escalate even without delivering a sustainable system. But when platforms are built at a state level, and shared across multiple cities, the course can be spread across a much larger population. As a clarification, the state and example in the slide is Kerala, and the platform is K-Smart, which has now been extended to both urban and rural local bodies, and hence effectively covering the entire population of the state. And that's why we have a calculation of per capita based on the entire population of the state. This dramatically reduces the per capita cost of digital infrastructure, as you can see. Of course, this calculation shown here is a very crude illustration intended only to demonstrate, a directional economic logic. The real advantage happily extends further. It also includes interoperability across systems, reduced duplication of data, and more efficient pooling of technical capacity. Now, I would like to zoom out a bit and say that this specific model of digital transformation is not limited to India. Across the world, we see similar arrangements emerging at what I would like to call a meso level governance, something which is not at the local level, but not at the national level. Very similar to what we have as state governments. There are multiple different names, multiple different arrangements in other countries. For instance, you can see as on the slide, there are instances of such digital governance platforms developed in Spain, Canada, and Australia. And now take a last 2 minutes in explaining how this state government-led digital transformation is a distinct analytical niche within the larger digital governance phenomenon. So, in the background of the 74th Constitution Amendment, uh, states do not really enjoy a clear mandate to build and deploy state level open platforms. Unlike national platforms that can be often mandated through policy or legislation, state level platforms typically spread through a portfolio of soft institutional levels, such as administrative coordination, cadre control, and compliance reviews. So, here adoption is often negotiated and gradually institutionalized rather than simply mandated. At a second level, these platforms are not mere digitization of existing processes. They actually reconfigure how municipal administration works to a great extent. So when workflows becomes digital, batch-based administrative processes turns into time-stamped, event-driven workflows. And escalation chains and performance visibility extends even outside the municipal office, often going up the chain to a state level. In other words, the state level platform reshape labor, accountability, and administrative oversight in the municipal governance. And third, and perhaps most importantly, these platforms must harmonize the heterogeneous municipal legacies into common infrastructural code. Every city comes with a varied legacy system, codes, workflows, and data structures. Building a statewide platform requires standardized data models, crosswalks for legacy codes, large data cleaning exercises, phased cutovers, and interoperability standards. And this is precisely where the work becomes difficult, messy, and deeply institutional. This is also where the experience of practitioners becomes increasingly valuable, because designing these systems on paper is one thing, but building them, integrating them with legacy systems, sustaining them across hundreds of municipalities is another challenge altogether. And this is exactly what our panelists have been doing. So, to begin this conversation, I would like to invite Simarjit Kaur, who leads IT team at PMIDC and has been closely involved in building and deploying the MSEVA platform across Punjab. Over to you, man.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I'll thank you for giving this opportunity for presenting what we have done under MSEVA. So I'll just, MSEVA is Punjab's integrated digital platform for delivering municipal services across urban local bodies. It brings together a wide range of everyday municipal services such as property tax, trade license, water and sewerage, grievance redressal, into a single system. Recently, we have added new services also and expanded our range of services which are available to the citizens. More importantly, it helps standardize how these services are processed across municipalities while still allowing the cities to operate within their local contexts. So overall, the platform benefits everyone. The state gets a better visibility of how services are being delivered. Municipalities have clearer processes, and for citizens it makes services more transparent and easier to access. MSIVA was not designed as a purely digital interface. It was built to work alongside the channels people already use, like municipal counters, facilitation centers like Seva Kendras, etc. So this allows the platform to strengthen existing service delivery systems rather than replacing them abruptly. Over the time, as more services and processes are integrated, the platform gradually improves efficiency while maintaining citizen access and institutional continuity. When we talk about digital transformation, we often imagine replacing old systems with new ones. But our experience in Punjab has taught us that digital transformation works best when it is treated as a continuum, not a replacement. Digital systems should extend and strengthen existing ways of public service delivery and not abruptly displacing them. Because if people already trust a channel, a phone number, a counter, or any local office, removing it can actually reduce the service success instead of improving it. So instead, the approach is to gradually encourage and shift citizens towards the digital channels while continuing to support the existing ones. This is why in Punjab, we approach digital transformation as integration rather than replacement. I'll take a case study of Municipal Corporation Jalandhar, where one of the clearest example comes is that the Jalandhar's grievance redressal system, under that, long before MSEVA existed, Jalandhar already had a phone-based grievance helpline launched in 2007. Over the time, this number became deeply embedded in the city's civic culture, and citizens did not need to search for it. They already knew it. And we did a field study to understand. And when we asked the municipal staff why the number had such an adoption, one of the officer explained to us this number existed way before MSEVA and it's almost with everyone. And when we asked the people or the citizens how they came to know about it, the answer was very revealing. The diffusion happened through multiple communication channels like posters across the city, flyers distributed locally, newspaper advertisements, resident welfare associations, political representatives, the local municipal councillors, etc., and even the last mile employees. And when we used to receive the calls, we checked with the callers also, and we found that in their responses, that one of the citizen mentioned that he got the number from municipal councillor, another said from the local welfare society, and someone got from the poster in the neighborhood, or it's there on the municipal website. So it's readily available and people were actually using it. So what we see here is that something is very important. Adoption of public service channel is not just a technical issue. It's a social diffusion process that happens over many years. In Jalandhar's case, that process unfolded over more than 10 years. When MSEVA digital grievance module was introduced in Jalandhar, the question was, should the city replace the phone channel with digital interfaces or should it integrate with the existing channel into the new system? The city chose the second path. Instead of shutting down the phone system, the call center was integrated with the MSEVA platform. Operationally, this meant a citizen calls the existing grievance number. The call center operator registers the complaint directly into the MSEVA. It flows through the same digital workflow as the complaint is submitted online. And citizen receives a digital confirmation of the complaint and can track the status later. So the system achieves two goals simultaneously. Citizens kept using the trusted phone channel and got the additional option to track their grievances in real time. The government created a single digital source of truth for grievance management. Data from MSEVA clearly highlights why this integration was important. Between 2021 and 24, Jalandhar call center alone accounted for 33% of the public grievances filed across the state. And within the Jalandhar, 79% of grievances were registered through call center. So if the phone system had been removed, a large portion of citizens would have lost their preferred channel and grievance reporting might actually have declined. Instead, integration allows the city to bring high volume legacy grievances under a digital accountability system. As a next step, MSEVA has been integrated with the state grievance portal. Now, all the grievances related to municipal services flow into the state portal, filed on the state portal, are routed to the MSEVA, ensuring a single source of truth for the municipal governance management. So from this experience, three design lessons emerged from the state-led urban digital transformation. One is map existing service channels, especially those with accumulated trust capital. This trust capital is extremely expensive to rebuild. Integration is a change management strategy. Digital transformation is often treated as technical project, but in reality, it is primarily a behavioral transition. People adopt new systems gradually. Every successful interaction increases trust in the system. So the goal should not be to force immediate behavior change, but to gradually transition citizens into digital workflows. Third is the integration requires data and workflow architecture. Often, when we talk about digital services, we focus on mobile apps, portals, and other digital interfaces. But integration actually depends much more on data standards, workflow routing, and backend process designs. Without these, different channels become disconnected systems. So, if one had to summarize the lessons from Punjab, if in one sentence, it would be this: digital transformation should build continuity with existing service ecosystems, not break them. Legacy channels often represent trust, networks, institutional memory, and citizen familiarity. And when these channels are integrated into digital platforms, governments gain better data visibility, citizens retain trust access points, and frontline staff experience less disruption and more ease of use. The biggest risk in digital reform is not moving too slowly. The biggest risk is creating parallel systems that confuse the citizens and double the workload of the staff. Treating digital transformation as a continuum rather than replacement helps avoid that trap. Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sima ma'am. If okay, I hope my screen is visible again. Yeah. Uh, Thanks, ma'am. If your experience in Punjab shows very clearly that digital transformation is rarely a clean break from the past. It involves walking through legacy processes and institutional habits that have been accumulated over decades. Yeah. Ma'am, adding to your example, so this is from our impact assessment walk in Kerala, where we did an impact study on K-Smart. During the baseline study, um, one of the persistent challenges, so the baseline was conducted in 2023-24. And one of the persistent challenges that we observed during this baseline was the existence of something we would call a parallel paper trail. So which effectively means that even though there existed a digital platform before K-Smart in Kerala, uh, every application and transaction was maintained over two workflow channels. One was through the digital channel and one was through the paper-based channel. This effectively added to the workload of employees, where often people said that they had to spend more than 40% of their uh, employees had to say that they said that they had to spend more than 40% of their time maintaining this parallel paper trail. So when K-Smart was introduced, um, Kerala did not abruptly stop taking people's paper-based applications. So what they did is to establish something called a citizen facilitation centers at the front office. So if a citizen approaches with a paper-based application at the front desk, they would still accept the paper-based application. There would be trained staff equipped with scanners, printers, and computers. They would accept the application. They would scan these applications and digitally file these applications on KSmart on behalf of the citizen. From that point, the application moves exclusively through a digital workflow. And additionally, if the citizen requires the acknowledgement slip, which is already digitally created, the frontline staff would print it and give it as a physical receipt for the citizens. So this effectively means that as a citizen, you do not have to feel the change that happened while moving from one platform to another. You were effectively integrated. You were happy with a specific channel, you can still use the channel. But at the back end, the promise of having a single digital platform solving for urban problems is still live.
Yes, I think I'll add to it. Similarly, we are also same. All the services, every ULB or the urban local body was using some kind of basic form to collect the basic data from the citizen. So that form remains as it is. The citizen fills that form, then the operator or the facilitation centers upload those details into the system. It becomes easy because um, verbally getting the details from the citizen, it becomes a problem. Citizens fills the form, they add those forms into the system, and then it becomes a workflow based system. And even today also our local bodies maintain physical files for some of the applications, but those files are not created by hand. They are printed from the system and then created as a record. And gradually some cities, when they build a trust into the system that this is going to remain here and it's last for a long time, they do away with the physical files also.
Okay. Yes. Yes. It's absolutely, ma'am. Thank you for adding on to the example. Uh, and this brings us to the our very next panelist. Uh, if the discussion so far has been about integrating digital systems with legacy processes, the next question becomes how do you design a platform that continue to evolve as institutions learn and adapt, as the governments find new avenues of serving citizens, and as citizens have new needs and wants. Okay, speak about this. I would like to invite Ajmal Jamal, domain expert working with K-Smart platform in Kerala. Uh, he has been closely involved in building and evolving one of the most ambitious state level municipal platforms in the country. Over to you, Ajmal, sir.
Good evening, all, and thank you, Matthews. I think I'm audible to you all.
Yes, sir.
And can you see my slide in the screen? I shared a slide.
Yes, your screen is visible, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yes, it is very interesting discussion which we have about the digital transformation. So my discussion point is Matthews already explained about K-Smart. K-Smart, a living digital platform creating a flexible platform that facilitate innovation. This is my topic. Yes, here I just want to tell about what's the history of K-Smart. Actually, we introduced K-Smart to the all local bodies in Kerala. Before that, in Kerala, all local bodies were using many different softwares for each different functions. For example, for birth and death registration, civil registrations, we are using Sevna. Meeting management, we are using some other software. For plan, we are using Sulekha. In like around more than 10 softwares we are using for local body governance. So we introduced K-Smart, and now K-Smart is a single digital platform catering all civic services in Kerala. K-Smart stands for Kerala Solution for Managing Administrative Reformation and Transformation. So, slightly introduction to K-Smart. K-Smart is now using whole statewide. We are using K-Smart platform, and it supports local governments functioning with all local body services are now digitalized, and a citizen have to apply through K-Smart application. No manual file we are handling. All applications are digitized with K-Smart introduction. And it simplify governance, because Now people can access from anywhere. It brings transparency. They can track their application, with which employee it is there and how many days it's sitting there. In that way, it's providing a wholesome transparency to the citizen. And digital processing also, now it is like the front office of an office is became your laptop or your mobile or a digital facilitation center. In that way, it is like, and we incorporated all services like birth and death, civil registration, and building permit management, trade licenses, property tax administration, because tax administration is the major on-source revenue for local bodies in Kerala, and finance management. Finance management is also very important in Kerala because around 30% of state plan is implemented through Kerala in local governments, and social security pensions, grievances redressal mechanisms, meeting management, and so on. Almost all services now we are handling through the CASMAT platform. So now it's became a backbone of our administration, our governance. How? Most important thing is it reduces multiple local software systems. That's no local body want to develop their own software, or no different softwares for different applications. So single platform handles all civic administration, all services related to local bodies in a single platform, and it is centralizedly developed and managed by Information Kerala Mission, the IT agency of Kerala state government, exclusively making software for rural local governments. And another important thing what we bring through KSMART is a common operational framework. Like that means we have rules, act and rule for local administration, but there is an organizational culture in every local body evolves. Like, for example, if in some part of a state for a particular application, that offices may ask some documents related to their own organization culture. In some part, people are offices asking some other documents for the same services, like for approving ownership change. Some local bodies may ask for some other documents. Some local bodies may ask for some other documents. In that way, there is a confusion or a different type of this document requirements. But KSMART, what did is it's provided a common operational framework. It said this is the documents for these services according to Act and rules. So a citizen is now aware in everywhere in Kerala for this certificate, they have to submit these kind of documents. In that way, we operational framework be channelized and standardized the workflows. That's in services. We provided in software itself that how that file should move, like operator, inquiry officer, verifier, approver. Sometimes there in some services there is no need of inquiry officer, then it will flow like operator, verifier, and approver. In sometimes approver, after that there is an authorizer. In that way, we channelized and standardized all operation procedure of KSMART, and it improves statewide monitoring and systems. And most important things, how KSMART is evolved. Like, this is my point I have to explain. When we introduce a software to a local body, we don't consider it as a finished software. That's my point. We should consider it as a living digital platform which evolves with the need of citizen or the users or the stakeholders. And if you are saying that I made a software and it's a finished one, you use it, that does not cater the real dynamic need of the people of the society. Because in a modern world, a need is like changing like anything. their aspirations and approaches are changing. So our digital platform must be ready in parallelly that we should accept that kind of requirements from the field, and we have to adopt that learning, and we have to change our system. So it should be like a learning, evolving, live system. We should consider it as a living platform. So what we have done, we initially we developed the base software, and we set up conducted testing like creating virtual offices in our office itself. After that, we led pilot-led development. We selected some local bodies and introduced the software with, and our officers, including domain and technical officers, were stand there, and we see what are the things happy to citizen and what are the things are difficult to citizen, what are the things we have to add to our software. In that kind of feedback we have taken, and we considered and talked to employees also who are using the software, because that is also very important point. The employees who are using the software, they should also happy with the software. It should be not just like happy citizen. It should be the employees who are using the software. They should be also happy. Their workload should be reduced. Their effort should be reduced. So in that kind of feedback we have taken, and in that way we rolled out the software Smart Digital Platform. Now it is operating into all local bodies across the Kerala. More than 1,200 local bodies it's using. Now, the most important part of my session, that I put a point that the digitally living software or evolving software system through our field experience. We introduced some innovation in our Smart platform. One of the things that when we civil registration we brought into there, that marriage registration was there. I am taking it as a case study. Then marriage registration, what happens for registering marriage, both bride and bridegroom should be present, physically present in the register, before register or in a local body office, and sign in the register for registering marriage. Especially in Kerala, it creates some issues, because we all know in Kerala so many people are working abroad, going with job and all. We are indirectly called as a money order economy in some sense. So many people are going outside for there. So after marriage they have to leave to Kerala, but this problem haunting them to register the marriage. So we introduced a video KYC method. That from the feedback of citizens, we introduced the video KYC, that citizens now don't want to physically present for their marriage registration. They can, through it, when they are submitting application, in application itself, there comes a video KYC option. If you are clicking there, you have to give a video KYC, that a dynamic text will come. You have to read that, and you have to save that, and you have to send that. That will go to the register, and by analyzing this, register can register the marriage. So citizen, wife is citizen in Kerala, and husband is citizen somewhere in Canada, and local body register are in Trivandrum, they can register the marriage. And also in different time also. They don't want to be appear in simultaneously also. In that kind of innovation, we bring there, and it brings immense pleasure to the citizen, and it is widely using this application. In that way, we introduced self-certified permits in 30 seconds, because Kerala government in KPBR and KMBR introduced self-certified permits, because that licensee have to take the responsibility, and he can issue the permit, and no employee side approval for low risk building. For that, what we have introduced, we introduced an EDCR rule engine. That rule engine itself verifies the plan and give the result. So licensee can use EDCR. So the rules will be checked by our rule engine. The moment licensee sending the application, the permit is given to the citizen, and 30 seconds we are taking for that. And K-map, know your land. And this is also another innovation for citizen from the citizen feedback, that if you are going to construct a building in a land, if you are checking through K-map, you can know that what are the spatial restrictions in that land. Is that land with CRZ, or that land in the purview of an airport, or some permission from a railway authority? All that kind of geospatial restrictions a citizen can see through our digital map. And also we introduced a digital dashboard. Also another thing, we option for link building, that citizen can link their building in all over Kerala to their profile to see what are the details in their building there in the local body assessment register, their previous tax payment register, their area of the house, and all details related to their property, they can link to their building. Also, we introduced a building certificate, that earlier we have given 8 certificates to related to building to citizens by sending application to local body, and local body verifies the data and giving the certificate. Now it is a copy data, so what we have did, citizen can directly download the certificate without application. Citizen don't want to submit application for this 8 certificate. If he is linked his building to his profile, he can just click, he can download this building certificate. So 8 certificate citizen can just download. It reduces the time of citizen, like submitting application, waiting for the certificate. For employee side also it's beneficial, like no application is coming for these certificates. So in that way, we introduced a evolving system to the case. So our lessons, what we learned from here is our build a digital system through iterative development. In that way only we can develop a system which caters all needs of the society. And we should encourage innovation from local governments also, because local governments also give your feedback, like if system should work like this, it will be better. We can adopt that system, and our digital platform should be able to cater that need also. And we maintain a modular architecture. That's also very important for us, that we created module wise then. So we don't want to wait for all services to ready to introduce. If you are ready with your civil registration, you can introduce that to the field. And if you are introducing other building permit module, then you can. So independent modules, if you are, and microservice architecture we are using, that also helping us to make more innovation to our software. So continuous improvement through user feedback is the one of the best thing. So our digital platform must be aligned to that. That means, in conclusion, digital governance platform must evolve with society. We don't treat it as a finished software. It should treat as a evolving digital living platforms. So K-Smart demonstrate how shared infrastructure can support innovation. All these innovative points we got from the user feedback and our K-Smart's capacity to accept or include those kind of requirements. So, and local governments benefit from stability and flexibility. Also, citizens receive faster, more transparent services. So, my point is that the digital platform should considered as the growing living systems, not just as a finished software. It should evolve from the feedback of citizens, employees, and all stakeholders. Then only we can have a fully happy citizen, fully happy employees. Thank you, Matthews. This is the point which I have to.
Thank you, Asmil sir. Thank you for highlighting the point that we cannot consider digital transformation as a drop down from the state to the municipalities, and it should be considered as something that is a more continuous process. So, adding to the example from Kerala, a very similar approach was seen also in Odisha. So, the state has spent almost last 6 years incrementally building on their Sujo platform. Uh, what I've done, what they have also done is something very similar, is to use a same digital public infrastructure and gradually layering new solutions on top of it to address like different urban challenges. For example, the platform has extended its support to sanitation workers' welfare through the SWAS system under the Garima scheme. Fecal flood management module was later introduced as to the Sujo platform. Urban employment payments was integrated via the Mukta program, and even service monitoring and some slum upgradation through the Java mission. So each of these innovations emerged to solve for a specific policy problem, but they were designed as plugins to the same underlying architecture. So this made sure that there is no uh, sudden changes, no breaking of what is already existing, but rather considering it as something that is living and something that is being developing over the time. That being said, now I would like to move a bit from the design side and go to the grounded functioning side. As much as the digital transformation is about software, it is also about the citizen experience that they curate. I'll also parallelly share my screen. Second, yes. I hope this is visible again. Yes. So I would like to invite our third panelist, Dr. Ashok Kumar Karna. He's Executive Officer from Nabarangpur Municipality in Odisha. And he's been working closely with Sujo platform, specifically from a municipality perspective and using it in his everyday administration. Over to you, sir.
A very good evening to all of you. First of all, thanks to Matthews and his team for giving me such an opportunity to be a part of this webinar. And in my academics life as a researcher and presently as the administrator, whatever experience I have gained through my research work and the field experience as a public servant I have gained, I will just have integrated that one, and within a few minutes, whatever I will get, I will just serve that one. As in last two, speakers have told, and even Matthew started, development of digital or any software platform is not sufficient. Fine. So theoretically, I think at the present moment, we are at the age of internet, digital platforms, and also artificial intelligence, right? So creation, development, or establishment of digital platform, for me, I think it's a part and parcels of the present day-to-day life that we are having, either in service life or in normal life that we are having. But the question is the sustainability and the productivity that we are developing, how that will be more effective. So in that case, there is the need of intermediaries that we are talking about, or the humanization of the technology, because theoretically technology, it's also itself not capable to do something else or to provide something else. In that case, there is definitely need of interventions of different kind of aspect, and one of that is the human beings also. Fine. So this is the theoretical part. And looking into that one now in the perspective of Odisha that we are having, and the state-led digital platform that we have developed, particularly for the housing and urban governance development, that is the Sujok portal, that is a web portal. So in last 4 to 5 years, whatever as a administrator or the executive officer of a municipality I have gained, I will just focus on that one. So basically, everyone knows about the geographical conditions of the Odisha, particularly the areas where I am posted here. Network is a big challenge. Whether it might be provided a government agency or a private one. If you talk about the BSNL or Airtel or Geo kind of, it's difficult to find a network. Even in whenever I'm sitting in my chambers, if somebody will try to, connect me, he might be thinking is my mobile phone has been switched off, but actually that is not the point, or that is not the issue. The issue is there is a bigger challenges of networks also. Fine. So in that light, even I will heads up to the government of Odisha, particularly the housing and urban development. Even in that kind of situation, also we are being capable, eligible, and productive to provide the public service delivery through the Sujok portal. That is a completely digital platform, and 100% we are providing services, different kind of services like starting from the building plan approval to layout approval, whether it's related to marriage registration certificates also, whether it's related to collection of property tax or water tax also. So around 4 to 5 services we are providing through this digital platform, that is Sujo, Sustainable Urban Governance. This stand for that one only. So as you, I mean, mentioned, Matthews, that this is not the sufficient one. When a development of digital platform is not sufficient, it's not capable itself also to make it more productive and to reach out to the main target groups, that is citizens or public, we can say, for whom we have developed that one. There is need of intervention. There is need of humanization of that platform, and that can be possible once if the concern head the office or at the subordinate level, like we are having here in our municipality. Numbers of tax collectors we have, and Jal Sathis are there who are at the household level through a MPS machine, that is mobile point of sale services that we are talking about. Through that, they are also collecting taxes, water tax or holding tax, like that one. So this is a platform, but their role is indispensable. Their role is countable, and we cannot make a value to that one also. We cannot ignore that one. Fine. So in terms of Nabarangpur Municipality and on behalf of the government of Odisha Housing and Development, I will say there is need, this is a part and parcel of the digital platform to make it more sustainable, to make it productive. There is need of intervention of human beings. There is need of intermediaries also. Otherwise, I think it will be just like the cream, facial cream that we have. For an example, right now, even an uneducated person is also having an iPhone or smartphone, Android phone, right? But unless he do not know how it's work, right, that will be a kind of like the special creams, right? So in that case, if we are developing a digital platform particularly to the citizens to provide certain kind of services, it's also their rights to know about the platforms also, how they will reach out to that one, how will they get the services that one, right? So in that case, the roles of intermediaries automatically comes up. We have to make certain IC activities also. We have to reach out to them how the Sujuk portal can be find out in a web portal or Google somewhere else. So the basic things is to build up trust, to provide a transparent and effective and timely services. This is the primary objective of the development of or establishment of Sujuk portal here in Odisha. And to some extent, even at this trend also, almost all the municipalities and NAC that we are around 115 we have here in government of Odisha, almost everyone is providing 100%, I mean, services to the citizens through the Sujo portal only. But from my experience, as I can say, as I told just few seconds before, until and unless the leader of the office or the head of the office try to have a lookout in that into that how it is working or not, because development of just digital platform is not sufficient. Fine. So in that case, the leader of the office, the head of the office also have to be a little bit of proactive. From my experience, I will say, just in last 6 months I have joined here as executive officer. Before that I was in a different station. So when I joined in June 2025, we had the digital platform of Sujokes. But in my first review that I took in first week of my joining, before that, whatever the amount was being collected as property tax or revenue, that was completely on manual basis, manual receipt. Right. We have the platform, still we are choosing or going for the manual one. And the reason was that they were telling key there is network problem. I know that there is network problem, but that is not the major problem for which a developed system can be paralyzed. Fine. There are certain ways or alternatives also. If it will be proactive, then that will be definitely work out. So in my first review meeting, I just instructed all the tax collector who were sitting in that review meeting. I know in last few days I have already understood and realized that there is network problem, but not everywhere. If I will come out from my office chamber, the networks that is Viatel, Geo, whatever are they are roaming around me, they will catch up me automatically. I do not need to catch up that one. Fine. So network is not a issue to paralyze a system that is being developed by the state government, spending crores of rupees or lakhs of rupees, whatever they are, and to ignoring the primary objective, that is to provide transparent and timely and efficient services to the general public, because that has been developed only for them. And if you are not going for that one, that means we are providing injustice to the general public who deserve to get a service in due time in a transparent way, right? So whatever services, that is one of the, another part of this, the Sujo portal is that whatever services 4 to 5 we are providing, that is being also coming under the Odisha Right to Public Service Act. That means there is a timeline. Within 7 days we have to provide a marriage certificate or trade license certificate, or in 90 days we have to approve the building plan approval. So there are certain limitations. If we go beyond that one, that is, then there is per day 250 rupees of penalized, and that can be tracked through this platform only. In manual system we cannot track that one. That is not easy, because manipulation is very common in that cases, right? So in Sujok portal, through Sujok portal at the central level, that can be also track out. And that means, for example, today I have applied for a trade license and almost more than 7 days and it passed, but that has not been approved by the concerned authority of the municipality. So all the detailed history can be tracked out in Suchok portal. Fine. So that is one of the positive part in terms of the citizens also. The Sujuk portal has become more citizen centric right now. There is a provision of grievance redressals also. It's related to sanitation work or any kind of whatever services they had seek from the concerned municipality. So there is also a scope of grievance redressals. So since 2022 till date, and Orissa has completely revolutionized, particularly the housing and urban development, to provide services through this digital platform. And I think it's not a challenge for the others also, even in other states. If we'll keep priority over the intermediaries that is remaining, and definitely this digital platform that has been developed particularly to provide services to the citizens in a transparent and smooth and timely manner, then that will be more effective, right? And automatically a trust level will also be built up on behalf of the administration and the citizen level, that once I have applied online, then definitely I will get my services in due time. So it's not all about the digital platform, it's also all about a connection and integration that we are developing between an administration and citizens through a digital platform, along with that trust level also. Fine. So overall, this is the part and parcel of the present life, but more important, and the need is to humanize it. We have to bring intermediaries to the digital platform so that it will be more successful and more productive. And Suzhou is one of the best example on behalf of Orissa, that if there might be literacy problem, there might be network problem, but it's not as obstacle, it's not a challenge to completely or successfully implement a digital platform to reach out to the bottom level of the democracy or citizens and to provide services transparently and timely. Because as we know, with the pace of time, everything keeps changes. This is the rule of the nature. If you go back to 1 decade, theoretically, if I'll say the concept, the term, the government was very popular at each and every level, whether it's related to administration or it's academics or any academy who are there, right? But in between of transition now, from government to it's come to e-government or e-governance. Right now we are talking about artificial intelligence also, right? So with the pace of time, everything is changing. Everything automatically that will change. But major point is all about the sustainability, its productiveness. So in that light, digital platform might be the part and parcel of the present life, but we have to make it sustain and we have to make it more productive. So in that way, we have to give importance on the intermediaries, particularly the humanization of the technology. Otherwise, I think it will be just like a development of digital problem, and others say the result will be a countable one. Fine. Even in other side, it was also through Sujok portal, as Matthews were talking about the fiscal management also. Our plant is around 10 to 11 kilometers away from my office, right? But through this portal also, I can track everything. How many trips we have when it comes in today's, or what kind of lacunas are there, in from where we got the trips also. So everything can be, tracking that one. Even once in a month, we can track our productive percentage of productiveness also, because we have a target. Suppose per month we have to get 50 trips or 100 trips vehicle search from different locations. So that can be also tracked. So Sujok platform is not just only a digital platform to provide services also. It's also a platform where we can assess ourselves. We can assess our performance also, right? And in that case, we can, when assessing ourselves, we can also improve in, or to find out certain ways also. So these are the things. And Orissa is, I think, on behalf of Orissa, if I'll say, Orissa is not only in disaster management, we are also doing some exceptional things in digital. Even in Nabranpur, around 55 to 60% are tribal. Right now, also less than 50 to 60% are, the literacy level is below 50%, right? Still, and recently we have implemented OSWAS, Orissa State Workflow System. I mean, all files are being processing through the digital platforms, and we are not maintaining any physical or manual files, right? So if we can do here in a place like where network is a challenge, where literacy or education is a challenge, so why can't it can be implemented in other places or on other states? Andhra was Punjab, Kerala, all these three states were example in digital platform way back in 2005 when Chandrababu Naidu was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. E-governance was at that time got revolutionized, but in that pace, with the pace of time, Orissa also had set up an example that we can also do or accelerate in digital platform, just only because for our well-being of the general citizens or public, that because administration government is only for them, and we need to be give priority over the proactive governance. And to proactive governance and to provide service delivery in a transparent or smooth manner, we have to think about all these things, humanization of technology or digital platform that we have. So that's it. Whatever I had gained my through theoretical or as a researcher or as an administrator. So many things are also there, as we have a time constraint and one more panelist I think there. So thanks you, Matthews, for once again, and the team, and will be part of the same also in future if I'll get a chance. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you for the very important reminder that for digital transformation ultimately depends upon the people and the institution that operates these systems every day. So just to double down on the example of Odisha, I from a very personal opinion, I feel Odisha has one of the best service delivery mechanisms. So it is very ideal case where somebody comes to your doorstep with a mobile point of service device and collects your tax, collects your water bill, collects your grievances, and takes care of everything at your doorstep and gives you the receipt and goes. So you don't even have to know what the platform's name is. You don't even have to go to the office. So this is one of the very good examples of service delivery and way of humanizing a digital platform, especially in the background of very low connectivity, as you said, very low literacy, and effectively as a continuum digital literacy, as you said. Thank you so much, sir. Um, with this, I would like to move to the last panelist. Here, another critical dimension is also about how can we sustain this digital transformation once it starts. To speak about this aspect, I would now like to invite Jawahar Garu, who is closely involved in development and rollout of the municipal DRP platform in Andhra Pradesh. And he brings extensive experience from the state government's perspective on how these systems are built and
Actually,
successful. Over to you, Jawahar Garu.
yeah, thank you, Matthews. I appreciate eGov Foundation for arranging this webinar to know the best practices of what is happening in other states. So thank you. I am working with the Municipal Administration Department of Andhra Pradesh from 2013 onwards. So I have seen the application which was there earlier 2015, and from 2016 onwards the new application municipal ERP system was in place. So I have seen both the applications. So I will explain the how we implemented the ERP system and how it got sustained from last 10 years in Andhra Pradesh. So as you know, the eGov Foundation is our implementation done for Andhra Pradesh, all the 21 modules in the ERP system. So this implementation happened because of the department leaders. That time Mr. Kannababu, IAS officer, is there, and Somaraju Garu, joint director. Of course, he used to come this webinar, but he was in other meeting, and other teams and ULB officials, of course, eGov Foundation. So what they did is they initially included all the ULB officials who have the domain knowledge on the modules. So they formed teams and they involved the ULB officials, and they fixed the requirements as per the acts and rules. The SRS documents was prepared, and at the same time around 123 ULBs are there, and the department also provided the systems and printers, more than 2,500 systems and printers for all ULBs, and the network also, lease lines was given to each ULB. So 2015, this activity was started, and by 2016, mid of June or July, all the modules were implemented. So during the implementation, the legacy data was brought into the system, migrated all the data which was there from 2004 onwards. All the digitized data brought into the new system. The main object of this is implementing the ERP system to avoid the duplication of work and to simplify the work of the ULBs. And the third point is, for citizens' perspective, to get the services from the municipalities or to pay taxes, to make it easy for them to avail the services. These are the main object of the implementation of ERP system. So after implementing the ERP system, department has formed nodal officer and assistant nodal officer for each ULB, okay, sorry, each district, and they used to visit the one of the ULB on Saturday in the district, and they used to get all the information how they are adopted the ERP system, how they are doing. If they have any problems or issues, they used to note down, and they used to monitor all the activities related to ERP in the ULB. And next day on Monday, our CDMS are used to review all the nodal officers, and wherever there are any issues pertaining to ERP system, and it is to be resolved immediately. So this kind of mechanism was adopted. So the ERP system which was implemented in 2016, now also it is working fine without any issues. So all ULB officials and the citizens also, they are very used to access this ERP application. So the main object of this ERP implementation is the revenue is increased from 800 crores to now 1600 crores in 2016 and 17. Now we crossed 2000 crores of revenue collections for property tax only. So other revenues like water, trade, other collections, everything is there, leases and everything. So all put together, we are getting around 4,000 crores across the state. Okay. And a standardized system was adopted for the corporations, municipalities, and nagar panchayatis. All the proceedings are generated from the system itself with a digital signature. There is no manual applications submitted or manual collections happening in the state. All are digitized through online, or in 2020, government has introduced the ward secretariat system. For every 4,000 population, they introduced one ward secretariat, and there are 6 employees from the municipal administration. They use it to monitor all the activities of the that particular ward. So like this, the system was implemented, and going forward, like in 2020, we introduced the capital value system. The tax collection till 2020 was done based on the annual rental value system. 2021, we moved to capital value system. This is one of the reforms as per the central government we have adopted. In ARV system, there is a provision to increase the tax rates every 5 years, but it was not happened from 2002 onwards. So there is no proper revenue to the ULBs. So once we introduced the capital value system, we integrated with the registration department, and based on the market values, the tax used to be calculated every year. They used to increase the market values 5 to 6% every year. So our taxes also increased every year. So like that, there are some good amount is coming to the ULBs. I want to tell one thing here with the registration department. So in property tax, whenever a registration happens, the owner name also need to be changed in the municipal records. Okay. For this, they used to come to municipalities again and submit the documents and get it changed. We have integrated with the registration department. Whenever the registration happens there itself, uh, our two systems will interact, and we will provide the mutation fee, how much he has to pay, and all those things. They collect on behalf of the municipal administration. Once the registration is completed, they used to share the registered documents and all those information through API and a link also. Once that reaches our ERP database, there itself we will generate the auto proceedings from the system itself, and will give it to the applicant. So he need not to come to municipality again for getting the ownership change. And also, if any new property which is not assessed also, we are tracking to the through the registration department and providing the assessment number and getting that property into tax bracket. So this is one integration we have done. We also done with the integration with the building plan, DPMS department, building plan approvals. So whenever any building plan was given, it will be intimated to ERP system. Once the building plan, construction is completed and provided the occupancy certificate, immediately our system generates an application, and we will assess the property and bring it to TaxNet. So this is one more integration we are doing with the DPMS. And all the information we are keeping in the on our dashboards, which is open to all. So all the state level dashboards like revenue collections are related to municipal services. Citizens can track their tax details or municipal services detail on our website. And here one point I want to mention. So after introducing the ERP system, the ULB officials' work has come down. So there are 2-3 aspects I want to tell you. One is we have integrated the property tax, all revenue collections with the finance module as a double accounting system prescribed by the Municipal Act. So earlier they used to enter all the information in finance again. So now what is happening whenever any demand or collection happens in the ERP system, it will automatically post the voucher in the finance module. So at any point of time, we can generate the trial balance sheet of the ULB and get the information. And the same thing is being provided to the state audit team. So we have given an access to state audit team so that earlier they used to print all the information related to accounts and submit to the state audit. Now they are accessing our application database and getting all the information for their audit purpose. So this is one more advantage. And as I told you, there are 21 modules implemented in the ERP system. All the 123 ULBs are still now using those applications. As Mr. A.K. Karna from Odisha told that the manual collections are still happening in some places where network is not there. Okay, so here in our system, there is no manual collection happening. All are through internet or through ward secretariat. We have opened more channels to other departments also, like AP Online, GSWS, and recently we have integrated with the WhatsApp also. So through WhatsApp and through bank counters also, they can pay the taxes. So we have given many more options to these citizens and also provided the work, reduced the workload to the ULBs, and also for the top management at the head office, they provided the state level dashboards to monitor functionary wise performance, not only the commissioner wise, functionary wise. They can drill down from commissioner to functionary like bill collector or a junior assistant. They can evaluate their performances. And for each service, we have fixed SLAs. So a beautiful dashboard was designed to see how many applications are going beyond SLA or within SLA resolved and who is the functionary involved in that. So all these are happening in ERP system. So this is what we implemented in Andhra Pradesh. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Jawahar sir. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you, all the panelists for explaining and like giving out from their practical experiences. Just to drill down upon Jawahar sir's point of it, it is very much important to make sure that the digital platform that is being built do sustain multiple government changes, because especially we are in a in a state of governance where digital transformation or a digital product is often seen as a development agenda by political parties, and there is a larger incentive of slashing whatever was there and like building a new platform. So the example from AP and the experience of municipal ERP is that how can we how can we create a narrative around the platform, that how successful it is, how successful it is in creating more revenue, how successful it is in making people's life easier, as a kind of like a protection against it being slashed down and built, and how it can be sustained over multiple governance changes. And with this, I would, on a closing note, uh, say that states do play a very critical role in building or making sure that digital transformation happens at the city level. But at the same time, these systems must remain responsive to the realities of municipalities, where services are delivered and uh, in the end citizens actually interact with is at the municipality level. So this actually means we should build a platform that actually retains meaningful autonomy at the ULB level. So what does it mean is that they should be able to access and analyze their own data and implement localized improvements at the ULB level. This can be modifying the tax calculation methods, introducing rebates, the ways of or any other ways of adapting to their local condition. In many ways, the strength of these platforms lie in the ability to balance between standardization and flexibility. Uh, the broader ideas and lessons that we discussed today, from integrating legacy systems, building a living platform, humanizing digital governance, and sustaining reforms institutionally, are brought together in a policy brief that we are releasing today. The brief reflects on how states across India are approaching urban digital transformation and details some of the key learnings that we discussed today and adds to these examples from other states also. With that, it gives me great pleasure to invite Gautam Ravichandar. He is Director of Policy and Strategy at eGov Foundation to formally launch the policy brief. Over to you, Gautam.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for pulling together such a wonderful webinar. I really thank all our panelists for sharing what it takes to take digital to people on the ground, right? And as eGov Foundation, most people know this about us. We know that the starting point of transformation is actually going live, but the end point is all the hard work that has been discussed today. So with that, we've actually put together a policy brief actually written by Matt here. And the beauty of this brief is it helps states abstract some of these lessons and think about how they can apply them in their own context. This is important because in India today, the National Urban Digital Mission is driving digitalization of all states using Upyog. And the lessons here make the difference between going live and serving citizens and empowering the front lines. So we definitely hope this policy brief will be useful to any state looking to change how it serves its citizens. It's my pleasure to launch it. And Matthews, it's been a pleasure seeing you develop this body of work.
Thanks, Gautam. This is available on our website for download from now. You can either scan the QR code that is available, or we would also paste the link to this on chat. So with that, we have come to a formal end to the panel discussion, and we would move to a quick Q&A. I know we are a bit over the time. Maybe we can take the next 5 minutes. If there are any questions from the attendees, it would be the right time to take now. Jitu, can you confirm if you have any questions from that?
There are no questions in the Q&A tab, but I do see someone who has raised their hand. Shravan, I'm allowing you to talk. Please.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I'm calling from Karnataka. I've joined the call from Karnataka. So I belong to a native of Yadgir, which is like 180 kilometers away from Hyderabad. My question is, how has this been progressing with the different states? I got to know many of the CMCs are taking up the digitization. I have seen the administrative news that the state-led digitization is happening, but I do not see the error and the way the errors need to be patched, because there was a property. I mean, it's a case which I'm looking into. It has been like almost 8 months since I'm following up for just the permission sake, and I still need to get to the office, discuss with those personnel, and they often say the server is down or the system is not taking up the inputs as such. And these problems are happening with the current system regularly in Karnataka. And I just wanted to know, as a citizen, how would I help? I identified the challenges. I saw the flaws with respect to the features which the ULMS system has on the permit side, but I'm not able to identify the right person to put this point to. I mean, I have emailed the respective, senior stakeholders who are responsible for managing ULMS altogether, but I still see there are a lot of opportunity to improvise. Am I audible?
Yes, Shravan.
Yes, Shravan, you're audible.
So how would we progress? Being the citizens, right? What is the way forward to take these digital initiatives from the government side to at least collaborate with them or add them in from the citizens per se, give them an easy way out, rather than creating a fuss of the old rigid structure versus the digitization. Because every digital transformation takes time. I too belong to an IT, circle as well. So I had seen the digital transformation happening clean and neat many of the places. But with the current scenario of Karnataka, is there any challenge that is happening for this push that's happening from the governance side, or is it the inevitable problem that is being faced upon until now, and how can we, as a citizen, put these points forward so that the governance also listens to us? I do not see any platform as such for these sort of discussions, because in IT you see everywhere there are communities that discuss with the governances, right? Even if it is any kind of platform based software, they have their own client community who uses them and everything. I see that part is missing here. I do not know how others have progressed, but these are my point of view where
Understood, Shyam. Thank you so much for your question. So, if I've gotten your question right, your specific question is about how can digital solve for citizen participation, and this is something that you've not seen in any of the states, and specifically Karnataka, right, Shravan?
correct.
Okay, so um, uh, I would say there is a very active conversation around improving digital citizen participation. Even I did talk about a round table that we convened 2 days before, which with a very specific topic on improving citizen participation. And there's a active conversation happening around. But as often came up in this panel, it is not quite easy to move from the idea to a complete digital platform. And with that note, I would like to open it up to the panelists if they have any experiences. Do they have any news from their respective states? Is there any movement in work around improving citizen participation rather than citizen as an event-based user of the platform? Is there something that is a more avenue for them to be a participant in governance?
May I, if you don't mind, Matthews?
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
See, right-upism is one of the age-old, bottlenecks where particularly the administration or a government failed to provide service in due time. And because of that, we transit from manual to digital platform in the hope, in the objective that to provide a service in due time, right? But as someone raising the questions, Karnataka is the hub of software engineers, I think, because technologically they are very much advanced. If still happening, as my experience, I can say that is only because of the lack of the zeal, the activeness that we have being leading the institutions, because red tapeism and the ill or personal interest sometimes it's class up, right? But digital platform is there, but we are failing only because of that one. As I was talking about, if unless we be proactive, we are not going to lead the system. As in my experience, in my during my panelist speaking, I was talking about when I joined here at Nabrangpur, Before that, all the tax collection was, going through manually. And in my first review meeting, when I asked the region, they cited ki there is network problem. I know there is a problem, but that is not the only issues which can stop a system or paralyze a system completely. Since that next day, we are collecting the property tax and 100% through online only, right? So it's all about in one side the activeness, the zeal that we have to lead the institution on the build up platform, right? And other side, if we talk about the legal, provisions or rules that we have, I was talking about ki this Sujok portal, whatever services we are providing, it's integrated with the Odisha Right to Public Service Act. If I fail to provide a trade license in 7 days or a building plan approval in 90 days, then there is the penal provision of per day 250 rupees. That will be penalized over me because I am the head of the institution and I failed to provide the service on digital platform in due time, right? So I'm very much sure there must be that kind of provision or rules also in Karnataka governments. And also there are scope of grievance redressal. You can raise that one also, or the institution, the department that is being providing the services, you can reach out to the head also, because right now in social media we all are active, right? There are numbers of a platform to raise our concerns. Fine, so that is not a big challenge. Actually, that is a man-made, that is artificial, issues, and that can be overcome if we'll try to find a way. That's it.
Thank you, sir. I would also quickly like to go to Jawahar Garu, and maybe he could explain a bit more about the Ward Secretariat model of citizen participation. Uh, Jawahar Garu, if you could add a bit there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, as I told you, in 2020, government has introduced a ward secretariat system. So, for every 4,000 population, they set up one office where there are 6 people from the municipal administration department. So, ward administrative secretary, ward amenities secretary, sanitation secretary, like this. So, they will look after all these 4,000 population in terms of municipality or electricity board, all related to line departments. So it is easy to monitor or while getting the taxes collection from the citizens or sanitation, doing the sanitation work within their short limited jurisdiction. So this setup is still continuing in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, thank you, Jawahar sir,
Yeah.
about that. So, Shravan, to sum it up all for you, there requires an institutional leadership which effectively sees the citizen participation as a venue of moving forward. Yes, we had seen events of this happening, some from Odisha, some from Andhra Pradesh, and we know, like, as the citizens of India, there is a long way for all of us to go, and especially if we compare with the West, where, for example, this can be understood by just looking at a PhD thesis of digital governance scholar. So the last 20 years they've been working on digital participation, citizen participation as a PhD topic, but we're just at an institutional level, just putting our baby steps to it. So I think that would have answered some of your questions.
Definitely, it really helped me with everything. Basically, on the way that the governance is going on with the administration, I think everyone is important is made felt. Only thing that I seek for is the right, administrative channel to pitch my ideas into. I guess. So I think that's a good thing which made the Odisha government's digitization and the other, be it Kerala and Tamil Nadu. I expect Karnataka also to stand, as an example, but I hope someday I will also be the part of it. Thank you for it.
Thank you, Shravan. Jitu, I would now, in the interest of time, give it to you to close. And if unless there are any other questions.
We have one more question in the Q&A tab. I think we can take that and then maybe close it.
Okay, so the question is from Krishna Kumar. He's like, how are you sustaining the software nowadays after your implementation partner has left? Any takers for this question? Simarjit ma'am?
In Punjab, actually, we started with the support from eGovernance Foundation, but we were managing the software by our in-house team. So it's very important that once the software has been implemented, it has reached its peak, then we develop our own implementation and operations team. With some of the resources can be from the implementation partners, because you cannot manage all kind of resources at your level, but you must have your own team who own the project, and that project is their own, and they are able to they're answerable for that.
Thank you, ma'am. So there should be an effective transfer of ownership from the initial implementation partner, which should be transferred to an in-house team and should be led by the government within the state government.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. So if there are no other questions, I would like to extend my personal and professional courtesy to all the panelists who joined on a quite short notice and extending your support in all the work that we've been doing in the 4 states. Over to you, Jitu, for.
Thank you, Matthews. Thank you, Matthews, for guiding this discussion and bringing all of our perspectives together so thoughtfully. Once again, thank you to all of our panelists for sharing such valuable insights and experience from their respective states. It was truly enriching to hear about their different journeys of implementing and sustaining these digital platforms across Punjab, Kerala, Odisha, and Andhra. And of course, a big thank you to all of these participants who have joined us today and who has engaged us with your questions and reflections. Before we close, just a quick reminder that the recordings of this webinar also will be available along with previous sessions on the events page. Also, a quick reminder for you to check out our policy brief. Also, we hope that you continue to join for our upcoming sessions. We will be releasing our next set of sessions very soon. Thank you, team. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you once again for your time and your participation. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Matthews, and thank you, Econ
Thank
Foundation.
you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.